Good afternoon, RhinoCats. Happy Thursday. It's Miss Mary Louise here, and I'm really excited because today I want to read to you one of my favorite books. I know typically on Thursdays we talk about language and do some sort of language activity or assignment, but since today's kind of like our Friday, since we don't have school tomorrow, I thought it would be nice to just do a little reading and then do a little five-finger retell. And just to refresh your memory, guys, our five-finger retell, we use our fingers to help us remember the five main elements or takeaways from a text. And these elements can help us to answer questions about what we've read and also to help us find our main idea or theme. And these elements are our characters, or who or what our story is about, our setting, so when and where our story takes place, the problem or what goes wrong in the story, what the characters have to overcome, the events, so the beginning, middle, and end of the story, and then finally our solution. How do the characters overcome their problem? How do they get their happy ending? So without further ado, today I want to read to you guys Where the Wild Things Are. Now, you may have seen this story before, you may have even read this story before, but I thought it was a perfect story to read during our quarantine time because it's all about using your imagination to get away no matter where you are. So one of my favorite books from my childhood, the author and illustrator here is Maurice Sendak. So very impressive. He not only wrote the book, but he also did all of the cool drawings for it. So listen up, enjoy, and think about our five elements of our story. So who our characters are, where our story is taking place, and it may take place in a couple different settings, a couple different places, and that's okay. And there may be a few problems, there may be lots of events, lots of things that happen throughout the story, and then a solution. So how does our character overcome any problems that he goes through? So let's get into it, guys. Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. And just so you know, this book won a Caldecott Medal, which you can see on the front, which is a very high honor for authors. It means that his book, he did a really great job writing it, and it was very well received by people who read it. I love the pictures in this book. It's what makes it so fun. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another, his mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." And he was sent to bed without eating anything. He doesn't look very happy there. It's not a very nice way to talk to your mom either. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew. And grew. Looks like he's pretty happy about it. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year, and where the wild things are. Looks a little startled. I think I might be scared if I came across that creature in the ocean as well. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Which monster do you like the best? I kind of think that that this one's really silly with his hair. Max doesn't look impressed, though. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once, and they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. And made him king of all wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." So out of all of those terrible, scary creatures, they decided that he was the king of the wild things. Ooh, look at this fun picture. I can just hear Max roaring here. Roar. Scary teeth. They kind of all look like real animals, but they're not, right? Like this one kind of looks like an eagle. This one kind of looks like a buffalo, but not quite. So maybe he took real creatures kind of in his imagination and made them into these wild things. I don't know. Ugh, such great pictures. They're having a blast. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being being king of where the wild things are. Do you notice how he did the same thing that his mom did to him when he was upset with the monsters, right? He sent them away without their supper, just like his mom did. Doesn't look like he's having fun anymore. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. He looks relieved, huh? So even though Mom said she was sending him to bed without supper, she ended up sneaking in some food for him. Remember, supper is just like dinner. And it was still hot. The end. I love that book. It's such a fun book, such a great book to use your imagination and think about all the places you might go to escape what's really going on at your house or how you're feeling on the inside about whatever's going on. So guys, what our goal is today, well, first of all, I hope you enjoyed the book as much as I do, Where the Wild Things Are. But also I want us to practice doing a 5-finger retell. So on paper, with a parent, to yourself, in some form or fashion, I want you to identify who are our characters in this book. So who or what is this book about? what are excuse me, what the setting is. So where and when is the story taking place? Is it taking place during the day? Is it taking place at night? Is it taking place at a home? Is it taking place in an imaginary land? Is it taking place in multiple different places during multiple different time periods? That's a possibility. What is the problem in our story? There may be a few. And how did our characters overcome those problems? What were the things that happened in this story? And then finally, knowing all of that, what do you think our theme is for this story? Why do you think the author may have written this story? What do you think that the author wants us to take away? How can we take what we learned here and apply it to our lives? So lots of stuff to think about and process, guys. Remember, if you want to reach out and share anything with me, please reach out to my email. I'll put it in the link below, or sorry, in the description box below. If you want to send me a 5-finger retell you did, or a pictures that you drew. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Be safe, take care of yourselves, and I will be in touch.